digestive tract. And aspirin,
meadow sweet.
you don't take aspirin on a regular basis,
Like
so
aspirin.
there's a risk of developing stomach ulcers.
Plantain, ragwort.
Yeah.
These are pollen, a lot of pollen on them. The ones that haven't opened in pollen yet, you can eat, and they taste like mushroom.
And the trick is to try and separate this out and produce it, it's like guitar strings.
Make a tea with the leaf. It helps prevent a hay fever. Sweet Sicily. Could be confused with some deadly things, but the stuff smells like fennel. There's a taproot. It tastes like aniseed, and it's rich in carbohydrate. And these things have got seeds. There they are, which taste like aniseed, which are very nice. It's called Jack by the Hedge. You can eat the small leaves. They're called garlic mustard. And later on in the summer they produce seed pods, which are very good to eat.
Again in maybe 5 minutes. This is wych elm and wych elm seeds when they're developing. When they're green, the whole thing can be eaten, they're delicious. But as they mature, the outside part becomes a bit papery, and the interior there is a little seed.
When the seeds are all green, you just shove them all in your mouth. Otherwise, you've got to peel off the brown stuff and take the little seed out. It's called wych elm. It's talking about Japanese knotweed. I thought I knew what it looked like, but I don't. Don't think we're going to see any. But the stalks, when they're young, they're can be picked like asparagus. They've got red blotches on them. There's clusters of them. They grow in bunches together, and they're very. I forgot what they're good for, but they're very nice. And the Himalayan knotweed, I think it is. The seeds, you can eat those. It's like sunflower seeds. And also about garlic, you can eat the garlic flowers and the seeds. The root is the stalk gets lighter as it goes down. It's sweeter, and it's very good for after dinner. With the Japanese knotweed, you've got to be really careful about disposing about anything you don't use, because it's incredibly virulent, spreads everywhere. So don't just put it in the compost heap.
It just makes you just very chilled out, and all those worries just drift away.
Valerian.
Okay.
You can eat the root.
Yeah, load it up. There's not very much. I'm not going to harvest any more of it here, but you find a lot of rubbish further on. It's coming around anyway. It's a bit down there. It's called Valerian.
This stuff's like wasabi. It's delicious. The stuff that tastes like wasabi is called bitter cress. It does look like cress, and it goes near water, of course.
It has very, very finely cut little leaves, a bit like a carrot. Okay, and the pig nut. The giveaway is, if you try and expose the root, what you're going to be doing is digging down, and as you go underground, that main stalk becomes pale. It ends up becoming white in colour. Now it goes down, and it can go down for a short distance. Sometimes it can go down for a few inches. And it disappears down, tapers, and before you get to the pig nut, it disappears at a 90-degree angle. It goes off to the side, and if it starts going off to the side, with luck, you're fairly nearby. You're at the right level at least. It can then go off usually just by a centimetre before it gets to the nut, sometimes an inch or so. And so you're excavating carefully. If you do it roughly, you've got to break the stem. You're not going to be able to work out exactly where the pig nut is. So if you just kind of guide your way back, let's see if I can do this. And then you can, with a bit of confidence, give it a go yourself. Okay, now I can see, looks like the root's coming over in this direction slightly. It may continue going down for a bit, it may Still going down.
So this was the one you said.
This looks like a pig nut. What have they found?
A big pig nut.
Lime trees or linden trees,
Truffles.
quite good.
Beech,
Some pines
oak,
as well.
lime, pine.
Scots pine, there's some
80 varieties.
pretty common
Some you can't
can
eat.
be found. And the process is really straightforward, a bit like with pig nuts. Just with an excavating device, and these tools, these little garden excavators are brilliant. You just get down into the first inch and a half or so of soil really easily. And typically what you'd be doing is, if you're in somewhere where there wasn't grass on the ground, just a lot of leaf litter, you're looking to get an area, something like a metre squared, kind of have a sense of that space and expose that amount of leaf for one, put that to the side in a pile, and then about the top inch and a half of soil is exposed. And as you're doing so, you're looking for any evidence. There'll be stones in there, but you're looking for evidence of something kind of spherical. And some of the truffles we've got in the UK are quite small, some are quite large. Same kind of size range that we've seen really with the pig nuts. You know, from pea size up to about so big. There's one variety that can get potato size. If you're lucky enough to find those, you're onto the summer truffle. And but they're not normally found that large. But then you've got a substantial find if you do find one that size. And if you can look for evidence of any excavation, that can give you clues to the presence, but they can be found without that being there. So what I've been looking around here is for areas where there is soil, where we can just expose a little area, not a huge amount of space, but let's give it a go. I did a forage a couple of weeks back in Hebden Bridge where we were looking for pig nuts in a field, and somebody unearthed and exposed the truffle in the process. So we then went down the hill, went into some woodlands that I knew, some beech woods, and we did some more digging around. We found a different species of truffle. So they are there, they're there to be found this time of year. So do you want to have a quick go here?
Yeah.
Yeah? You want to have a go on this? We can maybe clear quite a lot of material in a short amount of time. But I'm looking about an inch under the surface.
This is called brook lime. It's got a blue flower, grows in water. If you've got sheep upstream, you've got to steam it. Maybe a little bit bitter, but a very good source of vitamin C it is. This is mint, wild mint. Seems to grow by the water here. Scovy grass, there it is. What is it that you eat of it?
You can eat the leaves on the flowers. Yeah. Good. It tastes incredible in cooking, but it's a knockout. It doesn't really taste basil, but it's what the quality it has.
That's the yarrow.
But it's a plant. If you've heard of aromatherapy, I guess, and it's a plant which has an aromatherapy essential oil, which is dark blue in colour.
Oh.
Incredible dark blue colour. It's profoundly anti-inflammatory.
See, wonderful colours. Well, Basil.
Very good. Get right doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm doing it without cold feet though.
For ID, the leaves have this petticoat tail. Okay.
Talking about sorrel.
There's a plant called autumn lace, which you might recognise. You might have seen it in autumn time. The berry has these long spikes covered in clusters of orangey red berries. Get them in woodlands.
They're really bright red.
Bright reddy orangey, yeah, and it's got a whole cluster of spikes of them all on it, and that contains a compound called calcium oxalate, which is different to oxalic acid, and that's a highly irritant compound which causes scratching and burning in the mouth. So the leaves of that plant in springtime, they have the same kind of appearance of this. They're much larger, and they have a different vein structure. They actually have part of their vein structure actually has like a little produces a little perimeter which is about 2 or 3 mils in from the edge of the leaf. So you look at it, and there's like this zone that almost kind of marks out the edge of the leaf, but is in by 2 or 3 millimetres, and that's your body challenge.
Sorrel found in meadows won't be lords and ladies, that dangerous one. He's also saying that it has a sharp taste. That's good as a digestive, produces saliva and does things further down the arm.
Yeah. Well,
Hawthorn.
are the young leaves, which is kind of eaten, but they do develop tannin levels fairly quickly, so they're a bit dry and unpleasant this time of year. The flowers can be eaten. Saying that, a lot of people don't find the flowers all that pleasant. If you have a smell of them, it contains a compound which is found in fish and in decay. So people sometimes find it smell like rotten fish or like rotten flesh. Scarlet Pimpernel has red flowers, 5 petals, very similar looking leaves. So it's best to harvest chickweed when it's in flower, because that way you can know for certain you've not picked Scarlet Pimpernel.
Has that got flowers?
They're 5.
Here's some more meadow sweet aspirin.